What's up, guys? This is Steve Hyder here with Gate City Sports Channel, and today I want to talk a little about coverage schemes. More specifically, I want to talk about the in particulars of the coverage schemes that the Eagles run, and whether or not a player like Jalen Ramsey would even fit the type of coverage schemes that we like to run here in Philadelphia. All right, guys, let's get to it.
Third down and 6. Ryan deep downfield, and it is.
All right, welcome back, Eagle fans. So, that shit show I just showed you before, and let's be honest, the first two games of the season have been quite the shit show for the defensive secondary of the Eagles. And I think a lot of this has to do with really not playing a lot during preseason, not playing a whole lot even during training camp. I mean, some players did, but not everyone has. And on top of that, we still have players shaking up back there. Like whether Coach Schwartz wants to admit it or not, and he kind of sidestepped the question yesterday, and he was basically like, "Oh no, Ronald Darby's fine. That ACL is not 100% yet. There's no way you're coming back from an ACL injury and surgery that soon and you be 100%. Like he's still clearly there's a little off his game." With that said, in the clip I just showed you, that was the Eagles in one of their primary secondary coverages, which is called a cover two concept. Sorry about the delay in time, guys. The audio went to shit on me and I had to redo this. But anyways, in a cover two concept, you have two safeties who are going to blanket coverage, right? So basically you're trying to take away elements of an offense. In this particular instance, we're rolling coverage on the top side for Rasul Douglas. So that way we can help out with Julio Jones. And then on the bottom side, we have Sendejo, who's rolling coverage over to basically help out with Calvin Ridley. No one should get deeper than your safeties. If anyone gets deeper than your safeties, you're fucked. Then pretty much all of your corners are going to go man. Everything underneath is man-to-man. So both of your outside corners and your nickel corner should be in man coverage. The rest of the formation is going to come down to basically your base formation. So are you in the 43? Are you in the 34? Are you in the nickel? Are you in the big nickel? Are you in the dime? That's going to vary how many corners, linebackers, and safeties you have in the field. For the Eagles, what you're going to see is it appears to me as if we're in the big nickel. So we're playing three safeties and one linebacker. Okay? So your defenders that are kind of making up that front six, as it is, it's not really seven, it's a front six down there. To me, it looks like on the top, it looks like you have Nigel Bradham, who locks up on the running back. And on the bottom, it looks like Malcolm Jenkins, who locks up on Hooper, the tight end. Okay, let's take a look at the film, and you guys will get a better sense of what I'm saying to you. I just want to show you all something. The first thing I want to point out to you guys is how much of a screw up this is defensively. Okay, we're clearly in a cover one. So we're man-to-man everywhere, with the exception being Sendejo has back coverage, cover one. Okay? We got Rasul Douglas up top on Julio Jones. We got Sidney Jones in the slot, which looks like he's on Sanu. All right? Our linebacker, which is going to be Nigel Bradham, I think, is on the running back, Freeman. Okay? Our missing linebacker, and who's in here basically, which is going to be Malcolm Jenkins. It looks like he's on the tight end, Hooper, to me. Okay? Then you got Darby one-on-one here with Calvin Ridley. You got Sendejo playing the back end. We got our four defenders in the box. We're missing we're four defenders on line, and we're missing a defender somewhere. All right. Clearly, Atlanta is in nothing more than 11 personnel, simple 11 personnel. Okay, three receivers, one running back, one tight end. There's not even play action to hold Sendejo. They don't use play action. From what I can see, Hooper doesn't go that deep. It gets picked up immediately by Malcolm Jenkins. I didn't follow the slot receiver. So maybe the slot receivers will catch us Sendejo, but Sendejo you're going to see blows this. Watch us run out and play, guys. Watch it again.
Third down and 6. Ryan deep downfield, and it is Ridley for the catch.
All right. Hopefully you guys see my perspective on this. Two things went horribly wrong on this play. The first thing I noticed is, look how flat-footed Sendejo is. If you're playing as a defensive back, whether it's a safety or a corner, you cannot get flat-footed. If you get flat-footed, people get by you. They get by you very quickly. He's way too damn flat-footed to be out there. The other thing I noticed, and hopefully you guys noticed that too, is nothing is supposed to get behind Sendejo. He's supposed to be covering. So, like, think about it this way, and it's the next defense I'm going to go to, which is a cover 3 scheme, right? Or we like to call a quarter half, okay? And a quarter half, or even in this particular type of scheme, which the Eagles were in, which was a cover 1, if you're the half guy in the quarter half of the cover 3, if you're playing the half, nothing is supposed to get behind you. Nothing should get behind you. Okay? Your job is going to be in the NFL is going to be everything that is in between the numbers on both sides. In college football, it's in between the hash marks, but the hash marks are narrower in the NFL. So it's generally speaking like you're in a cover 3, your two corners, your outside corners cover everything that's on the outside of the numbers. Nothing that's their zone is outside the numbers. And then that one deep safety is supposed to cover everything that gets back behind the coverage, right? In between the numbers, okay? Clearly that ball went between the numbers in the damn end zone, all right? Where the hell was Sendejo? That's my point. All right. It's frustrating because on one hand, Jim Schwartz is trying to do the best he can to divert the attention of what the hell's going on. And he's trying to tell us things like, oh, like, no, the secondary is going to be okay, da. Like, man, I like Sendejo. And Sendejo, I think, is a great in the box safety. I have no clue why the hell we're utilizing him as a free safety over the top. He does not have coverage skills. Like, it's just not his forte at all. The other scheme that I was talking about, and I'll throw the picture up here, and I'll talk you guys through it, is something it has multiple names, okay? A lot of people call it quarter half. Some people call it the 3 deep zone. And other people call it basically cover 6, because it's a combination of the cover 4 and the cover 2 concept, okay? It's like piecing them both together. And basically, I already went through this, guys, but your two edge defenders, your outside corners, okay, cover the outside boundaries, right? They have a deep zone there. They're covering that deep zone there, okay? You have one safety over the top that covers the middle zone, all right? That leaves you with a essentially a safety that is going to cover either down in the middle, he's going to play run support, he's going to blitz, or he can be served as like a nickel kind of corner, okay? And then you could also have a corner. It depends on how defense is utilizing the scheme. Are they in the nickel, the big nickel? Or are they, playing a 43, a 34? You can use that secondary scheme in any of those defensive schemes overall. Okay. Let's get to probably the topic of interest for most people, which is despite all this craziness about the type of coverage schemes we run and all that kind of stuff, like, would a player like Jalen Ramsey fit this defensive scheme? Would it matter? Would Jim Schwartz be able to utilize him? In my opinion, it's just nonsense to say that Jim Schwartz would not want this person and would not utilize him. Because to me, if you're going to invest probably the $13 to $16 million a year it would cost you to eventually sign it and hold, that's just assuming we don't just keep this player for 2 years and then let him go and get his contract. But if we were to utilize a piece, which I hope you would do in someone like Jalen Ramsey and hold him for long term, you're going to change the scheme to fit this kid, the coverage scheme. Okay? He's a lockdown quarter. This is someone you go man to man with, you can press with, and you probably would. Okay? You might see the Eagles even start using and mixing in more cover 0. Cover 0, guys, just means like when you're pretty much going to bring like something like an all-out blitz or something like that. You're not going to have any help over the top. Okay? I think you would do stuff with that if you have Jalen Ramsey. I think we would fit it. So my perspective on the whole Jalen Ramsey thing is that if the Jaguars are really going to let this kid go, and we can beat, like, there's nothing we can do about Fitzpatrick. We wanted Fitzpatrick, but the problem with Fitzpatrick is that the Steelers wanted him, and looking from Miami's perspective, is the Steelers are probably not going to do quite as well as the Eagles, so that draft pick is going to be a lot higher. Now, most of the teams. Scratch Kansas City, because the reports I'm hearing is Kansas City's, that's more of like a fantasy thing. the reports I'm hearing is it's really a Seattle, Cleveland, and Philly race with Jalen Ramsey so far. Someone else could jump in there, but so far that's what I'm hearing. If we can get this kid for a first and a third, you're not finding Jalen Ramsey in the next 2 drafts. You're not. There's not a player out there that's like him. I'll pull the trigger. I would make that draft pick. Now, the hesitation for me is not the scheme. The hesitation is not whether or not we're losing draft capital. It's really about where does this team value cornerbacks? What do we draft a corner in the first round? What else will we have used that first round pick for? So what is the opportunity lost of spending that first round pick if it wouldn't have, because there's no corner that's going to match them in the draft the next 2 years. So what are we giving up? What else would we have used it for? You know, what's unforeseen? The defensive line, the offensive line. I think we're pretty good at the running back level and the wide receiver level for the future. So linebacker, I don't get it. Where else will we spend the money? Because it doesn't, to me, if we're talking about where the fit is, the way that we run big nickel, it would seem like you really do need a lockdown corner for this defense to be complete. Yeah, you need to invest in the pass rushers. I'm there with you. But you also need a lockdown quarter for this thing to work. That's my perspective. Unless the opportunity cost is the player that's going to complement Barnett in the long run, because I don't think Brandon Graham is the long run solution past the next 2-3 years. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to complement Barnett? Because I don't know that Brandon Graham is that guy long term. I don't know if Brandon Graham is past the next 2 or 3 years. That's, I guess, where the argument lies. That's my perspective. All right, guys, I'm hopping off here. If y'all can just do me 3 things, you already know I'm going to ask you to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And just tell me what you think about all this coverage scheme crap. Tell me what you think about Jalen Ramsey. Do you think he's worth the pick? What do you think the opportunity cost is? If we spend that draft capital to go get Jalen Ramsey, what do you think we'd be giving up? Offensive line support, defensive line support. I don't think we'd be spending that on linebacker, but maybe we would. I don't know. So, what's your thoughts? All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out of here, guys. Bye.